Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Conversation Amelia. Today, we're diving deep into zero conditional sentences. And trust me, this is going to transform how you speak English.
Hi, Amelia. I've heard about conditionals before, but I always get so confused. What exactly is the zero conditional?
Don't worry at all. The zero conditional is actually the easiest one. Think of it as talking about facts and things that are always true. We use it for scientific facts, general truths, and habits that happen every single time.
So it's like things that always happen? Can you give me an example from daily life?
Absolutely. Here's a perfect example. When I heat water to 100 degrees, it boils. See, it's a scientific fact. Every single time, no exceptions.
Oh, so it's about cause and effect, like one thing always leads to another thing?
Exactly. You're getting it already. And here's the structure. We use if or when plus present simple in both parts of the sentence. If plus present simple, comma, present simple.
Wait, so I use present tense in both parts? Not like will or anything?
That's right. No will needed here. Let me give you another example. If I drink coffee at night, I can't sleep. This is my personal truth. Happens every time.
Oh, I have the same problem. So I could say, when I drink coffee after 6 p.m., I stay awake all night?
Perfect. See how natural that sounds? You just created your own zero conditional sentence. Now, before we continue, I want to ask all of you watching, do you struggle with conditionals too? Please leave a comment below and let me know which conditional confuses you the most. And if you're finding this helpful, smash that like button.
This is actually making sense now. So can I use this for habits too?
Absolutely. Here's an example. When my alarm goes off in the morning, I hit the snooze button 3 times. It's a habit that happens every single time, right?
Oh my goodness, that's exactly what I do. So I could say, if I don't set 5 alarms, I miss my morning class.
Perfect example. And that's so relatable. Here's another one from my life. When I forget my umbrella, it always rains. Murphy's Law, right?
Yes, or if I wash my car, it rains the next day. Everyone experiences that.
Now you're really getting creative. Let's talk about the difference between if and when in zero conditionals. Can you guess when we use each?
Is when for things that definitely happen and if for things that might happen?
You're so close. In zero conditionals, they're actually almost interchangeable because we're talking about things that always happen. But when sounds slightly more certain. For example, when I exercise, I feel energized versus if I exercise, I feel energized.
Oh, so both are correct. That's actually really helpful. I was worried about choosing the wrong one.
Both are perfectly fine. Here's a tip though. When is more common for routines and regular habits. If works better for conditions that might not happen as frequently.
Interesting. Can you give me more examples? I want to practice this in my head.
Of course, let's go through daily life scenarios. When I eat too much sugar, I get a headache. That's a physical reaction I always have.
Right, so I could say, if I skip breakfast, I feel dizzy by 10 o'clock.
Excellent. Here's another category emotions and reactions. When someone yells at me, I cry. Or if I watch sad movies, I always need tissues.
Oh, that's so true. I could say, when my favorite song comes on, I sing along loudly.
Perfect. Now let's try some about other people. When my mom calls, she talks for at least an hour. Or if my friend sees a dog, she stops to pet it.
Yes, that's my friend too. So when my brother cooks, he makes a huge mess in the kitchen.
I love these personal examples. They make the grammar so much more memorable. Here's something important. We can also use zero conditionals for instructions and directions.
Oh, like giving directions? How does that work?
Yes, for example, if you turn left at the traffic light, you see the supermarket on your right. Or when you press this button, the machine starts.
So, like, if you add salt to water, the boiling point increases. That's a science fact.
Look at you using scientific facts. That's exactly right. And here's another use: warnings and advice. If you touch the stove, you burn yourself.
Right. Or when you don't sleep enough, your immune system gets weak.
Fantastic. Now, everyone watching, I want you to try this. Write your own zero conditional sentence in the comments below. It can be about anything: a habit, a fact, something from your daily life. Let's create a huge list together and learn from each other. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss our English lessons.
This is actually fun. Can we talk about negative sentences too? How do I make zero conditionals negative?
Great question. We just add don't or doesn't in the normal places. If I don't drink water regularly, I get dehydrated. Or when my phone doesn't charge properly, I panic.
So, if I don't study every day, I forget everything quickly. That's definitely true for me.
Perfect negative sentence. And you can make both parts negative too. If I don't exercise, I don't feel good about myself.
Can I also say, when I don't see my friends for a long time, I don't feel happy?
Absolutely. That's a beautiful example. Now, let's talk about question forms. How do you think we make questions with zero conditionals?
Do I just change the order? Like, do I feel tired if I don't sleep well?
Almost. We keep the if or when clause the same, but we make the result clause a question. If you don't sleep well, do you feel tired? See the difference?
Oh, so the if part stays normal, but the other part becomes a question. If you eat spicy food, does your stomach hurt?
Exactly right. Here's another. When you hear good news, do you call your family immediately? Me too. And that brings up a great point. We can answer these questions in full zero conditional sentences. Now, if someone speaks too fast, I don't understand them.
Can we practice some more real life situations? I want to make sure I really understand this.
Of course. Let's do technology. When I forget to charge my phone, it dies at the worst possible moment. That's a universal truth, right?
Always. Or if I need to make an important call, my phone battery is always at 1%.
So relatable. Here's another tech one. When I'm in a hurry, my computer updates automatically.
That happens to everyone. If I have a deadline, the internet connection gets slow.
You're creating such natural sentences. Let's do some about food and cooking. When I follow a recipe exactly, the food turns out perfect.
I wish that was true for me. I'd say if I try a new recipe, I usually burn something.
Ugh, cooking can be tricky. Here's mine. When I'm really hungry, everything in the fridge looks good.
Yes. Or if I go grocery shopping when I'm hungry, I buy way too much food.
That's such a common mistake. Here's a question for everyone watching. Do you go grocery shopping when you're hungry? Tell us in the comments what happens. And if you're enjoying this conversation, please give us a thumbs up and share this video with someone who's learning English.
Let's do some about weather. I think those are really common in English conversations.
Great idea. When it rains, the traffic gets terrible. That's definitely true in big cities.
Absolutely. If it snows overnight, the schools close the next day.
Approving. Here's another. When the temperature drops below freezing, the roads become icy and dangerous.
So, if the weather is nice on weekends, the parks get crowded with families.
Excellent observation. Now let's try some about work and study. When I have a big presentation, I rehearse it many times.
Me too. If I have an important exam, I can't sleep the night before.
That's so common for students. Here's another. When the deadline approaches, I work more efficiently.
Some people are like that. I'm the opposite. If I have a lot of time, I procrastinate until the last minute.
You're definitely not alone in that. Here's a study tip. If I study in the morning, I remember things better.
Really? For me, when I study late at night, I concentrate better because it's quiet.
That's interesting how different people work differently. Let's do some about relationships and social situations. When I meet new people, I feel a bit nervous.
Same here. If someone compliments me, my face turns red immediately.
That's so sweet. Here's another. When I argue with my best friend, we make up within an hour.
That's a good friendship. If I don't text my mom for a day, she calls me worried.
Moms are the same everywhere. Here's one. When I see someone I know in public, sometimes I pretend I don't see them.
Oh, I do that too sometimes. If I'm in an awkward situation, I laugh nervously.
Very relatable. Now let's talk about something important. We can use zero conditional for automatic consequences. If you mix yellow and blue, you get green.
Oh, like scientific mixing. When you add vinegar to baking soda, it fizzes and bubbles.
Perfect. Here's another. If you plant seeds in good soil and water them regularly, they grow.
Right. When metal gets hot, it expands.
Exactly. You really understand the concept now. Let's try some about animals and nature. When cats are happy, they purr.
Cute. If dogs see squirrels, they chase them immediately.
So true. When birds migrate south, the weather is getting colder.
Nice. If you feed wild animals, they become dependent on humans.
That's an important ecological fact. Here's another. When the tide comes in, the beach becomes smaller.
I'm getting so many ideas now. If there's a full moon, the tides are stronger.
Wonderful. Now, everyone watching, I really want to hear from you. What's your favorite zero conditional sentence from this lesson? Or create your own and share it in the comments. Let's build a community of learners together here on English Conversation Amelia. Your comments help other learners too.
Can I use zero conditionals to talk about my personality traits?
Absolutely. That's a fantastic use. When I'm stressed, I clean my entire house. That's definitely me.
That's interesting. For me, if I'm stressed, I eat chocolate and watch movies.
We all have our coping mechanisms. Here's another. When I'm tired, I become grumpy and impatient.
So relatable. If I don't have my morning coffee, I can't think clearly.
Coffee lovers everywhere understand that. Here's one about personality. When someone lies to me, I lose trust in them completely.
That's important. If people are late without calling, I get really annoyed.
That's a very reasonable reaction. Let's do some about health and wellness. When I drink enough water, my skin looks better.
Really? I should try that. If I sit at my desk all day, my back hurts.
That's a common problem for office workers. Here's another. When I stretch in the morning, I feel more flexible throughout the day.
Good tip. If I eat late at night, I have strange dreams.
That's interesting. I've heard that before. Here's mine. When I meditate regularly, I feel calmer and more focused.
I should try meditation. If I look at screens before bed, I have trouble falling asleep.
That's scientifically proven. The blue light affects your sleep. Here's related. When I read a book before sleeping, I fall asleep faster.
These are such useful life tips. Can we do some about money and shopping?
Sure. If I see a sales sign, I always go into the store, even if I don't need anything.
That's so true. When I use a credit card, I spend more money than when I use cash.
Agreed. Studies actually prove that. Here's another. If I make a shopping list, I spend less money at the supermarket.
Practicing. Good strategy. When I compare prices online first, I get better deals.
Approving shopping. Here's one. If I wait 24 hours before buying something expensive, I often decide I don't need it.
That's really wise advice. If I buy cheap quality items, they break quickly and I spend more in the long run.
Exactly right. That's a valuable life lesson right there. Let's do some about transportation and commuting. When I take the bus, I arrive later than when I drive.
Traffic patterns. If I leave home 5 minutes late, I miss my train.
Timing is everything in commuting. Here's mine. When I try to take a shortcut, I usually get lost.
That happens to me with GPS. If I don't check the traffic app, I always hit a traffic jam.
Murphy's Law again. Here's another. When I'm running late, every traffic light turns red.
Always. If I have plenty of time, the journey is super quick.
It always feels that way. Now let's practice some about home and daily chores. When I ignore the dishes overnight, they're much harder to clean in the morning.
Groaning, so true. If I don't do laundry on the weekend, I run out of clean clothes during the week.
Relating, that's a common problem. Here's mine. When I clean one room, the other rooms look even messier.
I notice that too. If I organize my closet, I find clothes I forgot I had.
And then you try everything on. Here's another. When I vacuum the floor, the cat runs and hides under the bed.
Cheerfully, cats hate vacuum cleaners. If I make the bed in the morning, my room looks instantly neater.
Agreeably, such a simple but effective habit. Before we continue, I want to remind everyone, if you're finding this helpful, please like this video and subscribe to English Conversation Amelia. Share your own zero conditional sentences in the comments and let's discuss them together. Learning English is more fun when we do it as a community.
Can we talk about zero conditionals with seasonal things like holidays and seasons?
Exciting! Great idea. When winter comes, I gain a few pounds from all the holiday food.
Laughing, me too. If it's summer, I crave ice cream every day.
Agreeing. Who doesn't love ice cream in summer? Here's one. When the holidays approach, stores get incredibly crowded.
Nodding, always. If it's my birthday month, my friends take me out to dinner.
That's lovely. Here's another. When spring arrives, people start sneezing from allergies.
Poor allergy sufferers. If it's autumn, the coffee shops start selling pumpkin spice everything.
That's so true. Here's a cultural one. When it's Christmas time, the music in every store drives me crazy.
Giggling. Some people love it though. If it's New Year's Eve, people make resolutions they don't keep.
That's unfortunately very accurate. Let's do some about learning and memory. When I write things down, I remember them better.
Interesting. That's a good study technique. If I teach something to someone else, I understand it more deeply.
Impressive. That's actually a proven learning method. Here's another. When I practice every day, I improve quickly.
Motivating. That's encouraging. If I don't review regularly, I forget what I learned.
Understandingly, the forgetting curve is real. Here's one. When I connect new information to something I already know, it sticks in my memory.
Eagerly, these are great learning tips. If I'm interested in a topic, I learn it much faster.
Absolutely. Interest is the best motivator. Here's another. When I make mistakes, I actually learn better because I remember the correction.
Relieved. That makes me feel better about making mistakes. If I practice speaking English regularly, my confidence grows.
Yes, and that's what this channel is all about. Let's do some about hobbies and interests. When I start reading a good book, I can't put it down.
Same here. If I find a TV series I like, I binge watch the whole season in one weekend.
Guilty of that too. Here's mine. When I hear music I love, I have to dance, even in public.
That's fun. If I see art supplies, I want to start a new creative project.
Encouraging, creativity is wonderful. Here's another. When I play video games, I lose track of time completely.
Agreeing. Hours just disappear. If I start scrolling through social media, I waste way too much time.
That's a modern problem for sure. Here's one. When I garden, I feel relaxed and peaceful.
That sounds nice. If I listen to podcasts while doing chores, the time passes quickly.
Approving multitasking. Now let's talk about cultural differences. When people from different countries meet, they often have different concepts of personal space.
Curiously, that's interesting. If you visit someone's home in some cultures, you must remove your shoes.
Pleased. Excellent cultural observation. Here's another. When you travel to a new country, you experience culture shock.
Right. If you learn about local customs first, you avoid embarrassing situations.
Wisely. Very true. Here's one. When you eat with chopsticks for the first time, you drop food everywhere.
Laughing, I can relate to that. If you don't understand the local currency, you sometimes pay too much.
Sympathetically, that happens to tourists a lot. Let's do some final ones about problem solving. When I face a difficult problem, I sleep on it, and the solution often comes to me.
Impressed. That's interesting. If I talk through my problems with someone, I usually figure out the answer myself.
Agreeably, talking it out really helps. Here's another. When I make a big task into smaller steps, it feels less overwhelming.
Practicing. Good strategy. If I make a to-do list, I accomplish more in a day.
Encouraging productivity tip right there. Here's one. When I ask for help, things get solved faster than when I struggle alone.
That's an important life lesson. If I stay positive, I handle challenges better.
Beautiful mindset. All right, everyone, we've covered so much today. Before we finish, I want to ask you all to do 3 things. First, write your favorite zero conditional sentence in the comments. Second, like this video if you learned something new. And third, subscribe to English Conversation Amelia and turn on notifications so you never miss a lesson. What topic should we cover next? Let us know in the comments.
Gratefully, thank you so much, Amelia. This was incredibly helpful. I feel like I really understand zero conditionals now.
Happily, you did amazing today. Remember, if you practice these every day, you'll use them naturally in no time. See everyone in the next video.